Welcome back to the Hannahcast YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be reacting to the New York Film Festival main slate. Apparently it has just been announced this morning, and we got some reveals on some movies that, are thinking to be Oscar contenders and other films as well. We're going to go over some of the highlights today. First, let's talk about After the Hunt. After the Hunt seems like it's going to most of the film festivals, even though it's not going to be in competition at Telluride. Obviously, you know how I've been very apprehensive about this film because it just doesn't really sound like a Best Picture thing. I think, honestly, the movie's best prospect is probably Julia Roberts, but again, considering the film is not in Best Picture, she could very well fall off if this film isn't in Best Picture. And I don't think it's as locked in as a lot of other people, as locked in as people say that it is, because again, the subject matter and also Luca Guadagnino has not made a Best Picture film, or really any film that's gotten any Oscar nominations since Call Me By Your Name. I know this one looks like it's more, normal than some of his other films, but at the same time, you still have like the first-person POV shots that look a little bit jarring in the trailers. And it's not like a very clear, storytelling thing like with Nickel Boys. So, I don't know. I'm not so sure about this one. Again, it's going to be very buzzy, but aside from critics groups, I just don't know if this is going to be, a thing. We'll see. Father, Mother, Sister, Brother. Alright, this is one that I have not really heard too much about. It says, for years, Jim Jarmusch has written, directed, and produced delicate, character-driven films, including Stranger Than Paradise, Only Lovers Left Alive, Patterson, and Down by Law. Father, Mother, Sister, Brother is a perceptive study in familial dynamics, a feature film carefully constructed in the form of a triptych. All three chapters all concern the relationships between the adult children reconnecting or coming to terms with aging or lost parents, which take place in the present each in a different country. Siblings Jeff and Emily, Adam Driver and Mayim Bialik, check up on their hermetic father, Tom Waits, in rural New Jersey. Sisters Lilith and Timothy, Vicky Creeps and Kate Blanchett reunite with their guarded novelist mother, Charlotte Rampling, in Dublin. In Dublin, and twins Sky and Billy, India Moore and Lucas Sabet, return to their Paris apartment to address a family tragedy. Father, Mother, Sister, Brother is a one-of-a-kind anti-action film. It's subtle and quiet style, carefully constructed to allow the small details to immaculate, almost like flowers being carefully placed in three delicate arrangements. As always, Jarmusch brings his worlds to life with the essential assistance of his collaborators, including two masterful cinematographers, Frederick Elms and Yorick Lesso, and the brilliant editor, Alfonso Goncalves, a movie release. Yeah, I don't know, especially reading this, it just kind of feels like it's gonna be that, that familial drama that, just kind of happens but doesn't really get much attention. Jim Jarmusch is not really known for having Oscar baity films, or really films that, or at the very least, no, maybe not. I don't know about Oscar baity, but it's his films just don't really get the attention of the Academy. So it's probably going to be nothing. Is This Thing On? Was the one that I've been really looking to see what's going to happen with this, and it is. This has already been announced for the closing night of New York Film Festival, but this is big. I don't think Is This Thing On has been announced for a lot of the film festival circuits, but it is going into this one, and I'm very curious because this does it does seem like it's going to be, more small scale than some of Bradley Cooper's other films. but I feel like this might just be what he needs, because he has not had his Oscar glory with A Star Is Born, and especially not with Maestro. So, and I know people are saying, oh man, this is, too small scale, but I'm like, I think that might be in favor of him. I can have to see, because the premise is, in a pair of galvanizing, deeply honest performances, Will Arnett and Laura Dern play Alex and Tess Novak, whose marriage has reached an impasse. An amicable sorrow. The couple, parents of 2 young boys, mutually agree to split up. Yet in director Bradley Cooper's keenly observed comic drama, their separation leads to unpredictable midlife self-reckonings. Most dramatically, in Alex's wild career, pivot to become a confessional stand-up comedian in New York City's West Village, where he finds new direction and camaraderie. This seemingly outlandish scenario, in a script by Cooper Arnett and Mark Chappell, inspired by the true story of British comedian John Bishop, is never played for easy laughs. While Cooper uses his penchant for naturalism to give the actors space and find their complicated centers, in his beautifully lived-in third feature following A Star Is Born and Maestro also premiered at New York Film Festival, Cooper confirms his dexterity for representing the complexities of human relationships, constructing a film that is both lacerating and sweet-souled, funny and tender. Is This Thing On features a stacked, stellar supporting cast, including Andra Day, Christine Ebersole, Kieran Hines, Sean Hayes, Peyton Manning, and Amy Sedaris, as well as charming assistants from New York stand-up standbys, such as Chloe Radcliffe, Reggie Conquest, and Jordan Jensen, supplying the film its downtown authenticity. A Searchlight Pictures release from Leia Pictures and Archery Pictures. So yeah, like, I could see this happening. Like, obviously, yeah, it is a lot more smaller scale, but Bradley Cooper, again, like, he has 2 Best Picture nominees as is, and I feel like as long as this is, like, very well reviewed and actually gets a proper push by Searchlight, it could end up happening. And not only that, not only would Bradley Cooper once again become like an Oscar nominee, but this would have to get original screenplay nominated, which would also mean that Will Arnett gets an Oscar nomination. So yeah, like, I'm very curious about this one, to be honest. So yeah, Below the Clouds, BLKNWS, Terms and Conditions, Cover Up. Oh, it's a documentary. Okay. The Currents. All right. Dues. Again, I'm not completely sure what this film is. But yeah. The Fence. Gavagi. A House of Dynamite. Once again, like, going to another film fest. It's very curious that for a movie like this, like, they are really pushing it for the film festivals. And it's like, admittedly, I am curious, but it's just like the name House of Dynamite. It just doesn't sound like a Best Picture thing. I mean, like, maybe this better. Let's read the premise. I mean, I know what the premise basically is, but I'm wondering if there's anything I'm missing here. At a remote military outpost, an unidentified incoming missile is detected, setting in motion an escalating series of actions and reactions across all levels of the United States government. With her trademark dynamic kineticism, Strange Days, New York Film Fest, Catherine Bigelow, Strange Days, New York Film Festival 33 centerpiece. I feel like you might also want to mention the fact that she is like a Best Director winner with The Hurt Locker, and was also like also got a Best Picture nomination again in, Zero Dark 30, but okay. Puts the viewer in the center of a crisis in which decisions must be made in limited time based on incomplete and evolving information and untested protocols. Bigelow and screenwriter Noah Oppenheim construct a frighteningly plausible scenario in which a multitude of dilemmas, both practical and personal, bureaucratic and existential, overlap in real time and at a mounting rate. This film's prismatic structure allows for a broad-scale thriller that entangles intimate intimate dramas with an unfolding world historic event, and the terrific ensemble cast, which includes Idris Elba, Rebecca Ferguson, Gabriel Basso, Jared Harris, and Tracy Letts, conjures vivid characters with muscular efficiency, bringing emotional depth to this thought-provoking exploration of an all-too-believable nightmare. Also, from what I've heard, Noah Oppenheim is not really a very acclaimed screenwriter. So again, I just have always thought that House of Dynamite is going to be like a Netflix like thriller content movie. And I know it's being directed by Catherine Bigelow, but like also again, it's Netflix. Just like I don't know, something about this just doesn't feel like a Best Picture thing to me. I Only Rest in the Storm. And apparently, yeah, this is from Portugal, Brazil, France, and Romania. So obviously Brazil is probably gonna, you know, push The Secret Agent, but who knows where else this could go? Like, we'll have to see. If I Had Legs, I Kick You, this was already premiered. It was just an accident. Definitely a Best Picture contender. And I see some people taking it off, but it's like, I don't know. I need to see what happens with this film first. I need to see what happens, because this could still be this could still be a Best Picture thing. And if it's not, I'm not going to predict it in director either. Like, I know some people are trying to predict it in director, but not picture. But if there's one thing we have seen in the expanded Best Picture, or not the expanded Best Picture era, but in the locked down 10 Best Picture era, you don't get nominated for director without getting a Best Picture nomination. Like, that's just going to happen. So either this gets a director nomination and Best Picture, or it's not going to get nominated for either of these things. But I still think it's going to get like an international nomination, as long as France submits it. France needs to submit it. If they don't, this movie is screwed. Because Luxembourg last year, they didn't submit any film. And Iran, well, I mean, this is going against a lot of, their beliefs. So France is kind of like this movie's only saving grace in terms of, in terms of, submitting for the Academy Awards for international feature. But yeah, Jay Kelly, we're actually getting a trailer for this today, and I'm very curious to see like what the tone of this movie is going to be like, because this is definitely going to be a Best Picture thing. Apparently, Adam Sandler is really being seen as a highlight, and even in the poster or posters, like the two people credited on the poster are, or at least like the two biggest names on the poster are are George Clooney and Adam Sandler, which is, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very curious as to, how big of a role Adam Sandler is going to have in this movie. Let's see. Continental 25. Again, yeah. Let's see. Landmarks. The Last One for the Road. Late Fame. Okay. I'm a little bit curious about this, but I don't know if it has a distributor. And this is North American premiere, not at TIFF, so I don't know. Wonderfully introspective, Willem Dafoe lends his delicate gravitas to the role of Ed Saxberger, a once upon a time New York poet who has worked on a post office for nearly 4 decades. His work now largely forgotten. After an eager and flattering young fan, Edmund Donovan appears on his doorstep one night. Saxberger is welcomed into a new coterie of 20-something admirers who hope to make him the central figure in an emerging literary salon. Intoxicated by the attention and the presence of the wannabe tragedienne Gloria, a sinuous Kurt Weill crooning Greta Lee, Saxberger nevertheless must reckon with the authenticity of this newfound cycle of aspirants. Kent Jones's thoughtful and marvelously witty second feature adapts Arthur Schnitzler's recently rediscovered novella, Late Fame, in a sly, entertaining script by Oscar-nominated May December writer Sammy Birch, updating the Austrian writer's take on turn of the century Vienna for a wistful yet unromantic look at the lost idea of downtown New York. Yeah, like the fact that it's not even going to TIFF is a little bit concerning. Again, obviously, the, it's not over, but it's a little bit concerning. The Love That Remains, yeah, I think this was announced for like one of the film festivals as well. Magellan, and this is from Genesis Films. Oh yeah, and this bro, like the one thing. Okay, so it looks like so it's looking like it's gonna be like a biopic of sorts of Ferdinand Magellan. So I'm wondering if this could be a visual effects thing, but then again, I don't know like what visual effects sequences would be. I know it's weird, but it's like, look, there's always some out of left field film that comes out at the end of the year that we're not even aware of. That's like a visual effects contender. And if this is gonna be like sailing the season stuff, I'd be kind of curious to see what happens. But yeah, the Mastermind from Kelly Reichardt, Mirrors #3, No Other Choice. Yep, this is gonna be over. Oh, this is the U.S. premiere for No Other Choice. Okay, I am looking out for this as well, because like if Accident falls out of Best Picture, then maybe No Other Choice could swoop in and take its place. But maybe we'll have to see. Peter Hujar's Day, Resurrection, Romeria. All right. Let's see. Rose of Nevada, The Secret Agent. That's also premiering there. Not premiering there, but you know what I mean. And this is the New York premiere as well. Sentimental Value. Once again, Sentimental Value going to a lot of these festivals. And I really do think it is setting itself up to be a big Oscar contender. Like, really, really huge. So, like, hell, like, there is even a chance it could win People's Choice. I don't think it will, but, like, it could definitely, it's going to get in the top 3. Let's be real here. Sirat, Sound of Falling, that's going to be there. Two Prosecutors. I am very curious as to what this, even though I think this already has premiered, I think. Okay, I looked at the reviews. They're good, but not like amazing. So probably not going to be like a Best Picture thing. What does that nature say to you? And yeah, it looks like those are all the films. I think like, obviously like the biggest news I think is I guess the biggest news was, was Jay Kelly, even though that was not Jay Kelly, is this thing on, even though that was already announced for New York Film Fest. But apparently, according to Matt Niglia, it's a reminder that New York Film Fest still has the Spotlight section coming later this week, which may feature anticipated titles such as Blue Moon, Begonia, Die My Love, The Grace, Hamnet, Springsteen, and The Testament of Anne Lee. But we will have to see where that all goes. But now, I'm going to pass the question off to you. What film are you most excited for in the New York Film Festival this year? Let me know in the comments below what you think, and be sure you hit that subscribe button, because if you don't, you're going to get rejected from a film festival.